Now that XRP is finally breaking out, like I have been saying the whole time, it's time to look at what's going to happen next. So I have my log scale chart pulled up from the very beginning of time back here with XRP back in 2014. And I have this scale. I've been showing this chart for a very long time now, and I've been telling you that ever since once it could break this arc right here, then things would just keep on going. It would just accelerate a lot, and that's exactly what has happened. So it's coming true. All my predictions. You can see all the videos on YouTube if you haven't seen them. They're all there. That I talk about it over and over and over again. How once it broke this arc, it's gonna fly, and essentially that's what it's doing. So where to next? Well, we can do a couple of things here. And what I'd like to do first is just pull up a Fibonacci from the all-time high down to the low back here in 2020. And we can see where price is really breaking above. So it is breaking above the 786. This is for the first time ever. Really, it's done it here a little bit. It's just wicked above, but the weekly candle close is today. So this is going to be the first weekly candle close ever since the all-time high that is back above the 786. So this is a very big milestone. This is huge, right? This is something that is now probably going to flip to support. I'm not saying it needs to come back down to that 1.61 for an XRP. I'm not saying it has to come back there and retrace it, but I am saying that it is possible to retrace a little bit, especially if it gets to the 886 and then it gets rejected at that 225.87. So this is a really good thing. Super bullish. It has never done this before, so this really confirms that it's the real deal. And not only that, I've been mentioning this the whole time too. When you look on the monthly chart right here, and then you turn on the Ichimoku with the monthly chart, you can see that this is the first time ever in history too that it's actually closed a big monthly candle above the cloud, right? It's never done that before. The all-time high, there really was no cloud back then, so it couldn't really close above anything. But now, this is the first time. It couldn't close above it back here in 2021, but it finally closed above it last month. And now this is a new month of December. It has the potential to go towards all-time highs, and that all-time high is around 331. So all it takes next is really to break this 886. So everybody just keep watching that 225.877. And if that can break, then this can really go a lot higher. Now, another fib I want to show you is this one right here. Let me just take off the Ichimoku for you really quickly. I'm going to show you the previous fibs from the high to this low down here. So this is going to be from the 2013 high and that 2014 low. And what I want to point out is how beautiful these fibs are. I can just take off the Gann and just show you the fibs. Like, look at that. On a month-to-month basis, it just shot up to the 2.272, got rejected, went back down to the 1.272, and it held as support. And then it held this 1.618 fib for a very, very long time. Like, the monthly chart really shows it, right? It was a previous resistance, this 1.618, flipped to a support. And the last time it confirmed it as a support was back in July of 2024, where it went down there just one last time to touch it because it didn't touch it before. And then it just a few months later, it was launch mode. So basically, once that 225 number that I mentioned breaks, then it's going to be all-time highs. It's going to go to the 2.272 again. It's going to challenge the all-time highs. And it really has potential to try to flip that to a support. And if it flips that to support, then I think what happens next is going to be $9, right? Maybe $8, maybe $9. And now I'm going to turn back on my Gann, and we can see some confluence here. We can see some confluence that the 2.272, the 3.099 right there, that could be next. But then if it breaks that, look what sits above. Maybe in March of 2025, look what that intersection is. That intersection is the blue arc and the 2.618. So since they're intersecting at that price, if this 2.272 fib can be broken, flipped to a support, then maybe, just maybe by March of 2025, that'll be a $9 XRP. So the momentum is super strong. We got a very bullish 283% candle last month. We got continuation of 10% right now. So that's it. Just pay attention to that 225 level that I showed you before, that 886, that previous fib I showed you. Just pay attention to that. And if that can break, then I think all-time highs are next, and then that's going to be the next challenge to flip to a support. So I do have more confluences. I want to show you the linear scale again next, because let's see how far of a retrace is possible, if there is one, okay? And I think the linear scale can show us exactly that. And next we have the linear scale Gann here, and this one is actually pulled up from the same time period back here in 2013. And now what I can show you, let me go to the weekly chart here real quick, and I want to show you something, and I think this is actually a very good thing to pay attention to. So going back in time, we can see how in the beginning of time it looks like nothing, right? Because this is linear scale. And then it just shot up directly to the blue level, and then back down to this orange angle. And this orange angle has been super important throughout time. Super important. And then back up to the orange level, got rejected, and then back down to the orange level where, yes, it was a resistance, and then support, 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 then resistance, resistance, and then a breakout. And the biggest thing I want to show you right now on this weekly chart is this breakout back above the 45. Now, it tried to do that before, but it kind of did not work last time right here. It just failed. But this time, I think it could be the real deal. And I'm going to show you why with the monthly chart again, going back to it. We can see that it already successfully backtested it, right? It broke out and closed the month above it. It did close the month above it last time. And look, there was really no continuation last time because it got blocked by the arcs right here, right? But now it already did a backtest down to the 180s after the monthly candle closed yesterday and this morning. It already did that, right? And then it just took off. So if people are looking for a retrace, it actually might not happen, right? Could be as all it gets. This could technically start to just build a base along this 45 in the high 190s or the $2 range, and then just try to continue higher to the 250s and 260s above. So with that said, now I want to put on the Fibonacci, and I'm going to go to that high, the all-time high, to this low. And I'm going to show you some levels that it's actually trying to break above now. And one of the levels is this 618, the 209345. So this is an important level. It's actually never in the history of XRP closed a monthly candle above it. You can see even the all-time highs was not a monthly candle to close above that 209345. So that is bullish, right? And then next after that would be the 236 and then the 263. And actually that 263 sits exactly with that blue arc up there for this month, right? So this month actually has potential to keep going up to the 260s. Maybe then the 786, it could get rejected and then retrace a little bit. But the point of all this is this monthly candle already did a successful backtest, and it's really not necessary to go lower. Is it possible? Sure, but it's not necessary at all. And I'm going to go back to the weekly chart here, and I'm going to show you that even a weekly candle never even closed above this 50% level, right? Back in the past, since the all-time highs, even a weekly candle never closed above. So this is another milestone, right? So the 618, that'd be amazing, but not even the 50%. You can see there was wicks above it right here, but not even a weekly candle close above it. So today is the weekly candle close, guys, and there's going to be a weekly candle close above that 50% level too. So huge milestones are breaking. This is the real deal. And one thing I do want to show you going back to my log scale chart is the monthly Bollinger Bands right here. And when I take off this and I take off the Gann, we can really see how much it's expanding. Look at how much the bottom is expanding. It's going down to almost equal to where it was back in 2021 and almost back in 2017, just a little bit more, but it's still just going straight down. So this Bollinger Band expansion is marvelous. And if this really continues to go higher and higher, then this can be the biggest expansion that XRP has actually ever seen in this history. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because right now it's basically tied with 2021. So if it keeps expanding, this can be all-time high expansion, which is going to be fabulous for growth and really could accelerate to that $8 or $9 target by maybe March of 2025. So I think the whole thing that I'm looking at here, guys, the big picture is XRP has never been this bullish before in its history since the all-time high. It's never has. When you combine all those confluences together, this is the real deal. This is what we've been waiting for. So the goal is to now not sell too early and just enjoy the ride.